you being as expert at training as you are, the number of people that you have trained, how would you train Conor McGregor for this fight, Jay?
If I'm Conor, man, I make this the dirtiest, filthiest fight you can. I put the crown of my head under Floyd's chin against the ropes the entire time. I don't let him counter punch. I dictate the pace of the fight. I dictate the range of the fight. I definitely don't fight it in Floyd's fight. I get him against the ring, those ropes, as much as I can. I put my head under his chin. I make it nasty. I rip to the body. I rip to the head. I move him around. I keep him in there. It's kind of like old Rocky. I mean, that's what I'm going to do. So, Andre Berto just, who was in our gym yesterday, who fought Mayweather, he just had a fight like that against somebody. And, that's the style, at least, that we try and train here at Unbreakable, which is kind of Randy Couture style. And we've just, Randy's helped us build it from there. But, last guy he fought, same thing. Guy just put the crown of his head under Berto's chin and just whacked away and whacked away and whacked away. And eventually you go, oh, my God, get this dude off of me. And it's just a more violent style. These are two guys who are they're great counterpunchers. Conor's not going to be able to beat the greatest counterpuncher who's ever lived counterpunching. So he's got to do something else. And he's got to make Floyd incredibly uncomfortable. I think that's the best way to do it.
Well, I wasn't just referring
to... When I say the crown of your head, so if you got to use your whole body as a weapon. You take that top part of your head and you stick it under someone's chin the whole time. Just leave it there and move it around on his cheek and his chin. They start getting frustrated. They start thinking about that instead of your punches. And when we are thinking about your punches, use the crown of your head. Don't get me wrong. I'm not talking about headbutting.
No.
Completely different.
No, I know what you're saying.
Get in there.
I wasn't just referring to the X's and O's. I'm referring to the fact that only 2 of his fights have ever gone longer than 2 rounds, and only 10 of his fights, if you put it on an actual clock, have lasted longer than 1 round of boxing. I mean, so how will that work for McGregor, who looks fit, clearly, but has never fought a fight where you've got to go for 1 round, 3 minutes, and then keep it going for as long as you can?
Well, that's the other thing. The cardio for boxing and MMA is different because MMA, it's a violent sprint, where boxing is more of a marathon. And boxing is about getting in your rhythm. Boxing is about, making sure that rhythm continues to peak as, the fight goes on. And you try to catch someone with a good shot. But, with MMA, I'll have our guys in here do 5-minute rounds, but every 20 seconds they do something else because that's how it is. You're never sitting there really and, a minute straight doing one thing and trying to get in this rhythm. It's a different kind of rhythm. It's a like I said, I kind of liken it to a violent sprint versus a marathon. So it's a different cardio where you constantly have to, your heart rate goes in all sorts of crazy ways in that cage. In the ring, you got to make sure you're relaxed so you can go for those full 12 rounds.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on radio stations across the country and audience.
Isn't it amazing you can download an app with your thumbprint? You should download our app with your thumbprint.